Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to the WAVY Digital Desk. I'm Sarah Goode, and today we're going to be talking about the community play-in and sing-along. It's this weekend on Sunday, and we hope that you'll be able to make it. And here is where you're going to get information about what it is, why the Virginia Symphony Orchestra has put this on for the community, and what it means. And today we have with us the Director of Diversity Engagement, Nikki Thorpe, and Director of Education, Helen Martell. So thank you all so much for joining us today. And I know that this has been the 5th year, so there's some longevity and community participation. Obviously, last year I think there was about 1,000 people there.
Yeah, we had it at Half Moon, and it was jam-packed. I thought it was going to be a fire hazard, but it was just wonderful having everybody participate and join us for this community gathering.
Right, and as we talked about, there's going to be some community leaders there, there's going to be community organizations there. So as much as this is Virginia Symphony Orchestra, it's exactly what it says. It's bringing the community together.
Absolutely.
Yes. As far as music goes, we have the Virginia Symphony Orchestra, we have the Virginia Symphony Chorus, we have Norfolk State Chorus, we have Fleet Forces Band is going to come and play with our Virginia Symphony Brass, and then also with the community. And we have all of the community members who are going to come and sing and play. And it's just a wonderful collaboration of all of these groups. Old Dominion University, Norfolk State University, music programs will be there as well. It's going to be a really nice community event.
And it's for every age, right? Maybe you need to know how to learn an instrument, or you could sing, I guess, perhaps
Yes.
at the really young ages. But how many people can come? Can anyone come?
Anyone can come, any age can come. We have music for beginners as well as more advanced music, so don't be intimidated, because we have people that are just starting out in their music careers, and then people that have had longevity in their careers. So we want everyone to come. All ages are welcome. And if you don't want to sing, or if you don't want to play, there's plenty of space in Eccles Arena for you to just sit and watch your neighbors and your friends and family play and sing. And but I'm sure there are going to be moments where you're going to feel comfortable and know the songs that we'll be performing, that you'll want to sing along. So.
Yeah, what's kind of cool is that the Virginia Symphony will be like the anchor group, like I said.
Right.
So they'll be sitting every other seat with a community member right next to them. So it's not going to be like the Virginia Symphony Corps all by themselves and then everybody else. But it's going to be the Virginia Symphony spread out throughout all of the musicians that are going to be playing instruments, and also with the chorus too. The chorus, the Virginia Symphony Chorus, is going to be mixed up with the community people. So.
And rehearsals have started, right? But could you still register this week if you want to join in?
Yeah, you could still register, and we have our final rehearsal on Sunday at 2:30 at Eccles Arena. So you could come, get your T-shirt. Everybody gets a T-shirt that says community on it, and come for rehearsal at 2:30. And our music director, Eric Jacobson, will be leading that rehearsal. So that's even more special. You get to have this world-renowned conductor kind of giving you instruction and information on what to do for that performance. So.
Absolutely. And the education ability there, that it's free, it's open to everyone, and to be able to interact, as you said, with somebody at that caliber.
Yeah.
How important is that for you all to have that connection with people in the community and allow them this sort of educational and fun, environment?
I think it's perfect. It's an incredibly immersive musical experience for any age. That I think music touches people in a way that just words, just art doesn't. It really connects us. We're all we're wired to understand, feel, move to music. And this is tremendous, because it's not just music, but it's chorus too. And that has incredible impact. Words, important statements. Some of the pieces that we're doing Vivaldi Gloria, which is just an uplifting piece. We're also doing Lift Every Voice and Sing. We're doing Ode to Joy from Beethoven's Symphony No. 9. These are also just very important pieces throughout history. And then somewhere over the rainbow, wonderful world. We've got, what's important to know is also that people who play with the orchestra bring whatever instrument they play. So we have ukuleles and guitars and a Hammond organ that is playing along.
Yes.
I mean, and we spent some extra time this year making sure there's chord progressions, there's music for these instruments. I think there's 6 or 7 piano players
Wow.
who have brought their own keyboards just to play along.
Right, well,
So-
that's a good question. It's like there's room for everyone. You all are going to equip, the area, the sound, the music to all of these instruments and all of these artists, I guess, performers that are coming.
Oh my gosh.
And not only do we have performers, but we also have community leaders. So we have people from all different faiths and backgrounds. We have Reverend Jeffrey Guns, who's going to be speaking about a call to action. We have the first African American naval commander, Janet Days, who's going to be speaking about the impact of the military in this community and how we can also make an impact in the community. We have an imam also going to speak about inclusion and representation, Imam Ismail Salim, and we have Rabbi Michael Panitz, who's going to be talking about working together. So we have every facet of the community represented. We wanted to make sure that this was very inclusive, and that's why we have, as much as we could, every area covered.
Absolutely. And you all say, in the event at least, which I think is so great, is you want to celebrate people of all ages, faiths, and backgrounds. And you don't just say it, obviously, in what we've talked about in the plans, that's also an action, and it's also part of it. I mean, to have people from different faiths, different backgrounds, military, non-military, students, working adults that, perhaps this is not their full-time job. How important is it to have that full spectrum? Because that's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
but part of our mission is to be a community-oriented orchestra. We want to serve our community,
Right.
and part of serving our community is to involve them. So this is just part of what we do. It's just an offshoot of our mission and our vision for what we want to accomplish.
Right. And then, going into it, just some logistics for a second. How do people register? I did include the link in Facebook today so people can click it. Is that the best way to get involved?
It is actually. Our Facebook, that'll take you to our Facebook page that explains the entire event, and then they can register there. Like Nikki said, there is a rehearsal on Sunday so that they can come at 2:30, rehearse with the entire group, and then at 4:30 we perform. So yes, anyone who feels like they would like to participate in this event can definitely sign up now. Sign up anytime before I believe Friday. We need a cutoff because we need to know how many chairs to set out. But I think it would be great to have as many people as we can. We have the room, we have the space in Eccles Arena to really broaden this this whole event. So this gives us an opportunity to do that. And we'd love to have Norfolk State students come to the event. We'd love to have Old Dominion University, come to the event. We want people from the community just to see this in action. And I think it's going to be very impactful.
Right. If anyone missed and they just joined in on Facebook or on WAVY.com, I also wanted to say and just make sure that everyone knew it's at Eccles Arena. So it's on the campus of Norfolk State University. It's right there for you. It's at 4:30. You don't have anything to do at 4:30. Go over and, listen. But I wanted to get back. So I said when we were talking about, what people are doing this, there was a man that was interviewed, not in the B-roll that we're playing on screen of a different performance, but he said, this is such a nice opportunity for me. He didn't work at the orchestra or work in a choir, but it's just a hobby for him. And he said how important the outlet was to have that. And you all are giving this outlet to so many people. That might not have the opportunity to do this every day.
Yeah, and it's just such a great thing that we're doing, and it makes people feel comfortable to be next to professional musicians and professional singers as well as their neighbors and friends. So this is just a wonderful way, and it's such a good feeling. You can't you can't describe how it feels. It's so electric and it's so uplifting. And I mean, last year we were just in tears when Norfolk State's band came and they were playing America the Beautiful with the orchestra, and it was just such just an emotional experience, and it was just wonderful. I do want to say Helen has collaborated with Teens with a Purpose on a special project. It's going to be classical music mixed with spoken word and rap. So could you talk about that a little bit, Helen?
That's very fun. First of all, Teens with a Purpose has collaborated with us on many occasions. So it's really nice to bring them back, especially creating something new and different. And so we had the ideas running through what piece would we like to use. One of the students said, well, I want it to be upbeat. It needs to be upbeat feeling. So we found Mozart Symphony number 40, the first movement, has kind of a nice beat to it. And then there's a spot where Mozart kind of fades, and then Teens with a Purpose comes in, using the same materials that Mozart used. And of course, they will express whatever that is during those moments, and then Mozart comes back, and then, Teens with a Purpose. So it's a collaboration, a connection, over generations, bringing old and new together. And that's been an important piece of Eric Jacobson's ideas with how to take the Virginia Symphony as well, is to find composers and performers that like bringing these kinds of works together, the new and the old, new experiences, new ways of looking at things.
Well, that's maybe, it feels like that's part of the mission too, bringing everyone together. And then this is just another example of that. But how cool, how did they come up with the idea? Did they want to sort of riff off something old, or?
It was Helen's idea. It was Helen's idea.
It was, and I hope it works.
Yeah,
it's going to work. And we have a drum kit that's going to be playing alongside with the music. So it's going to be so cool.
Yes, and I made sure that there was piano parts for our 7 pianists and guitar parts and things like that, so that people can come in. The Mozart, seems like, oh, well, that's highbrow, not for us kind of music. But then it just kind of, creates this new part that anyone can play.
And I think it's so interesting what you just said. You are fitting something for everyone into it. So you're creating parts for the piano. You're creating parts for these instruments that are coming. You want everyone to be involved. You don't want there to be someone sitting in the corner that maybe doesn't know how to play as well, or doesn't know the music as well, to be uninvolved.
Right. We also want them to know that they can play at their level, and if they can't play something as well, it's okay. It's experience. It's the experience that counts. It's the being immersed in the music and with all of those people around you. And like I said, there's just something very powerful about being in that kind of environment. And I think that's why people participate in music.
Right.
Really, it's because of that power, that sense of being uplifted and deepened emotionally through music and the connection it makes.
Absolutely. And then back to the community organization. So Teen with a Purpose, that's one of the groups that you all are sort of partnering with, I guess, for this, or they're joining in. Could you share, if people don't really know much about them, just a little bit about one of these organizations, about Teens with a Purpose?
Well, Teens with a Purpose is an organization founded, and the executive director is Deirdre Love, and they're right in the heart of Norfolk, and they have so many talented teens. They have an after-school program that deals with the arts, so it's visual arts, it's music, it's sound engineering, they have a garden across the street, so they're learning how to grow vegetables and cooking with that. So it's a holistic program to really help teens have a purpose. So they have poets, and they're in charge of the Youth Poet Laureate program for the state of Virginia. So it's a really, really meaningful, powerful, effective organization. And we have such a great partnership with them. As a matter of fact, we did a program last year where the orchestra played a long song with this alongside a song that they had written, and it was amazing at Chrysler Hall. So we have many collaborations with them. But we also have other organizations who are going to come with information. We have Norfolk Botanical Gardens coming. We have the YWCA, the Urban League, NAACP, Hispanic Heritage Association, Faith Inclusion Network, Anthem Health. I mean, we have so many organizations who are going to come. So if people come to the concert, come a little bit early so you can get information about these organizations and some of the services that they offer.
That's great. And I mean, that too, you know, as much as you all want it to be about the music, you're also focusing on that community aspect. So giving people an opportunity to maybe interact with these resources where they usually would have to seek out help or seek out information from everyone individually.
Absolutely.
That's important, yeah.
I also wanted to say about the symphony itself and the community aspect is that our musicians live in this area. You know, the Virginia Symphony is a professional orchestra, but they also have come from all kinds of places, and they've rooted here, and they've had families here, and they are part of the community as well. And they care about uplifting and creating these experiences that bring the community together. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that too. And of course, our chorus, all of these people are part of our community, and it's just wonderful for them to come together like this.
Right, and I think what you just said, that they are neighbors, you know, with some of these people, and some of these people might not be musically inclined too, but then this is opportunity for them to check out the community organizations, for them to participate in the audience, which I feel like that is just as important in some elements, that you want people to be there to observe, you know, what people are doing. But even if you're a listener, music can still be so important to you and be and sort of change your day, change your mood. I mean, you all want people to be there as well, obviously, in the audience, dancing, listening to the music, you know, cheering on when appropriate, I guess. You want to be quiet during performances. But, I mean, you all want that interaction, right? Even if you are not musically inclined.
Absolutely, because that's so energizing. You know, typically in the concert hall, it's a little bit more formal. So I think this is a place where people can express themselves, and they can clap, and they can whoop, and they can just show their encouragement for each other. So yes, we absolutely want that audience participation.
And then, Helen, you're also going to be conducting, as you said, during this show. I mean, do you know what song? Can you say yet? Or multiple?
Yes, no, it is the Mozart 40.
Okay.
I'm that is the one that I'm going to be conducting. But some of the other conductors that we have, Eric Jacobson, but we also have our course master, Bob Schaup, is going to be conducting some pieces. We have Old Dominion University conductors and Norfolk State conductors, the Fleet Forces Band conductor, Joel Davidson, is going to be there. So it's not just one leader, you know, it's like all of these incredible leaders coming to create this experience.
Right, absolutely. And then what I wanted to make sure we got to before we ran out of time, so just to remind everyone, please, you know, register, please go online if you're interested in attending. But I also just briefly wanted to hear a little bit more about your roles, because this is something that is a part of a years long, you know, programming that you all do. So, I mean, I don't know if you want to start, Nikki, about, you know, engagement and diversity and what that means for, you know, the Virginia Symphony Orchestra year round.
Sure. The Virginia Symphony Orchestra has as one of its main tenets being equitable. So I was hired as the first ever director of diversity and engagement with the hopes of making the orchestra experience a little bit more diverse. You know, Hampton Roads is a very diverse community, but our audience doesn't always reflect that. So we've been trying to do some creative things to get audience members involved and people from different communities. We have a project that we do called the Harmony Church Project, and we connect with historically black churches to have our musicians go out to their church services, and they play either during the service or with their children's or youth ministry, and we go out to them, and we hope that they also come back to us to some of our performances. We have a program coming up in October called the Evening of Hope, where we're talking about victims of gun violence and honoring their memory. We've partnered with an organization called the Urban Renewal Center, and we just want to do more collaborative things so we can make an impact in the community. As I said, everybody doesn't come to the concert hall, but if we go out to where they are, we can expose them to what we do, and hopefully that will have an impact and create an interest for them to come in to hear what we do in the concert halls as well.
Absolutely. And then you all during the summer have those free concerts that are out in the community.
Absolutely.
And that's obviously a part of your mission as well, because not only then too will you be getting residents and people that want to be outside on beautiful summer nights, but you're also getting tourists, you're getting people that have families in town, you're getting people that, you know, want something to celebrate, you know, the outdoors or Town Point Park or wherever it is. So how is that over the summer? I mean, have you all seen, you know, maybe what you want to see, that the crowd is diverse at some of those events?
Yeah, it's actually, there are so many people that come. Do you know the count? Like thousands of people come out. And I think the music, to Helen's point earlier, it's so inspiring and energetic. Even when people are walking by and they hear it, they just come and they sit and listen. Even if they don't stay for the whole concert, it's so it's amazing just to see how people that are walking on the street will just come and peek in and listen, and you know, they'll stay and hear one or two or all the songs. Right. So yeah, it's been a wonderful opportunity. And the Virginia Symphony Orchestra is very unique because we go out to all of Hampton Roads. So we have performances in Norfolk, we have at Chrysler Center, we have performances at Ferguson Center in Newport News, as well as the Sandler Center in Virginia Beach. So we want to make sure that we cover all the areas.
Right.
We've had outdoor concerts in Williamsburg and York and so we've been all over the place this summer to different places.
And in Norfolk, you are lucky. In Norfolk, there are so many different things, especially with the Neon District and art. You know, it's opened up so much. But to be able to go to these concerts that, you know, are free, are open, are available, that has to make a difference, you know, in someone's ability to sort of be part of this.
Of course. I mean,
yeah.
But we also want them to come to our paid concerts.
Yes.
Our season actually starts September 14th with Beethoven Festival. We'll be at Ferguson Center on the 14th, and then on the 15th we'll be at Chrysler Hall. But then we have a really cool program coming up in the following week, September 21st, where we're going to have Bela Fleck, he plays the banjo, and he's going to be doing Rhapsody in Blue on the banjo. Wow. So that's part of Eric Jacobson's cool collaboration with doing things in a non-traditional way.
Well, that's great. So the season's about to start. So this is like another reminder for people to sort of know what's going on in the community. Fall's a great chance to see some of the work, you know, that you all do year round as opposed to just the concert. And then Helen, you're director of education. For you, I mean, with events like this where you're allowing people to interact, you know, on a larger scale with, you know, as Nikki said, world-renowned, you know, conductors and musicians. Is that important to your mission in sort of educating the community, educating other musicians that come into contact with you all?
Yes, of course. The other thing that happens when we bring people into the symphony is that they have a greater comfort level with the music itself, the traditions of the orchestra kind of breaks down barriers, and so that when they actually come to a symphony concert, they would feel more comfortable. Oh, I've seen that person before, or I sat next to them. You know, I know what they do before they start the piece. So yes, actually sitting side by side with a Virginia Symphony, with any professional, is an incredible educational experience because musicians do things that are, you know, you can't see. That listening, hearing, breathing, moving, you might not be able to see it from, you know, the nosebleed seats in Chrysler Hall, but when you're sitting right next to them and you're feeling that, you get the sense of, oh, well, that's that's what I need to do too. You know, I need to breathe. I need to, you know, move a little bit more. And this is how much bow I need to use and things like that. I mean, that's a great experience. The other educational things that the Virginia Symphony does includes sort of like this collaborative feeling too, is our young people's concerts. And we go out into like at least 11 districts to play this young people's concert. And we use the Carnegie Hall link-up programs, which are incredibly engaging, which means that the students, there's a curriculum. The students learn a couple of pieces, and they play along and sing along from the audience with the Virginia Symphony. So it's just kind of the same thing. It's, of course, there's in the audience and we're on stage, but it's still the same kind of, let's make music together. It's not just to be quiet in your seat and don't move, don't fidget, but be immersed into the music. There are experiences that you have to sit and just listen to the music. But this gives kids a great chance to be a kid and listen to something extraordinary. So that's our young people's concerts. We also have chamber music programs that go out in different places, and they play chamber music shows to introduce the instruments themselves. So that gives students a chance to see what an instrument sounds like and looks like up close, so that they can make decisions if they want to participate in music programs when they get to that level in their school programs. We also, as far as the education program, we have the SOAR program, School Orchestra Artistic Residency. So our musicians go out into the schools and they actually coach students, which has been a really, really nice connection with youth and our musicians. I also have one more thing. We have this is the second year of our African American Fellowship Program, which we have brought 4 musicians into the symphony with a collaboration with Old Dominion University. They get graduate certificate credit for playing in the orchestra. So what this does is that it gives them a better chance to be successful as they go through trying to become a professional musician, which is very challenging. But this gives them a chance to just be immersed once again in the orchestra community or whatever, this orchestra program, so that they have a better chance.
Absolutely.
And that even includes mock auditions, so they get to do auditions and get feedback from professional musicians.
Wow.
So they create a chamber show, they go out into the community, they go out to schools. So it's really a very thorough program that really helps prepare them well.
Right. So you're setting them up for the future to enter this world if they wanted to, and to be able to have those resources and that foundation.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, they come with high skills, though.
Right, absolutely.
They have to audition to be one of our fellows. So we're very selective, and we had a fantastic first year last year, and this year is starting really nicely as well. So we're very, very, very happy about it.
Well, thank you. Oh, yeah, please.
I'm sorry.
No,
One other
you go
thing
ahead.
that we do, and Helen and I have been kind of working closely. We've collaborated with Slover Library to offer some master classes. So on September 16th, we have Tessa Lark, who will be.
She's a violinist, and she's giving violin master class, and this is an open class, which means people can come in and listen. There are 4 or 5 student musicians who will play for her, and then she'll give them pointers on how to improve their performance. So those are our professional guests that come into our area that we utilize in this way. So
Yeah.
Tessa Lark is our first.
And then shortly after that, our music director Eric Jacobson will be doing one on September 19th at Slover Library, and his is going to be more of a kind of a community discussion. He's going to play his cello, and it's going to be really fun. So that's a way for people to see Eric Jacobson up close and personal for free.
Right. I mean, you all have such a busy September, you know, just hearing about all of these events and plans, but it's amazing, and it's great that, you know, musicians that come in town that visit this area or that, you know, are here already want to be part of this. You know, they want to be able to help kids, whether it's the master class or, you know, offer tips and information that you're not really going to get anywhere else just by your own, you know, research. Like, you need those opportunities, and for them to be brought to you in Hampton Roads is really special.
Yes.
Well, thank you both so much for joining me this morning. I mean, afternoon, I guess, at this point, but I've taken so much of your time. But, you know, is there anything else that I guess you just want people to know leading up to this event? There's still room to register, I imagine, and get ready for the show.
Yes, we want people to register, and then when they register, they will get the music. They can click a link to get all the music, so they won't have to come without knowing what is going to be expected of them.
Right.
They can get access to the music ahead of time, and they'll get all the information about parking and just everything that they need to know will be included once they register. And Helen said the registration is going to be until Friday, so we encourage you to come. And again, if you don't want to participate, please just come and join us. And we want everybody that has practiced and prepared to have someone to play too. So please invite your family and friends to come out. We'll be more than happy to have you as part of the audience.
And should they register as well if you know you're going and you want to be?
Actually, if you're an audience member, you don't have to
Okay.
register. There's plenty of room, so.
So you heard
Just-
it. Just
yeah.
bring everyone.
Yeah,
Yes,
and it
yes.
starts at 4:30, but I recommend coming a little bit earlier.
Right.
Yeah, we want people to take advantage of the community organizations that'll be there. The concession stands will be open, so people can buy a beverage or popcorn or whatever they offer at Norfolk State. And I just want to say that we're just so happy to be at Norfolk State for the first time this year. We're really excited about being on their campus, and the president's going to be in attendance. We're going to have Mayor Kenny Alexander. We're going to have Representative Bobby Scott there, our VA delegates, and just a bunch of people. A bunch of government officials are going to be there. So it's going to be very well attended, so you guys don't want to miss it.
Yeah, and we're also very happy with the City of Norfolk that has done a great job of supporting us throughout all of the years that we've done this. So.
Yes.
And I want to say as well, the footage that you've been watching today, that's from the City of Norfolk from, you know, a previous show. So if you want to, you know, check out the show, check out what it's all about, visit on Sunday. And, you know, I hope it's a great turnout, and I'm so excited to hear more about it afterwards.
Well, thank you very much for having us
Thank
today.
you so
Thank you for
much.
having us.